or that the epicenter. This is the start of the bandwagon. No one thinks they can medal, but I
No,
think that they're going to win bronze.
I could see that. Like
Yeah,
Germany, yeah, no, and you're totally right. If Germany, the only time anyone in Edmonton is not going to be cheering for Germany is if they're playing Canada. It's
yeah.
the only way.
Against Morgan Riley. McDavid, what a move! What a play! What a goal! Hemsky works it in across the line, cutting in on goal, he scores! He just ate up Robin Rodier for dinner. Smith, 3 clubbing right hands! Right hand talent! Big right-handed shot from Mike Smith! McDavid scores! Game winner! Series winner!
Welcome everybody to another episode of The Torp, the Oil Rig podcast. As usual, I'm Faiz, and I'm joined by Greg.
Yes, hello, Faiz. Nice to
Hello,
see you
hello.
again. It's been
Oh,
a little too long for my
I was
liking.
gonna
Yeah.
say, it's been so long.
The people that
Uh,
have been messaging me, when's Torp?
it's all I live for these days. You know, Torp, seeing your face, it's great.
Right. Well, it's one of those things like with the ATM machine, or like the M stands for machine, or like the Torp. It's like T stands for the. So
The Torp podcast.
I was, I was gonna let it slide, but obviously I couldn't. Yeah.
It's a good point. It's good. I'm still gonna call it the Torp.
I know it feels right.
Feels
Feels
right.
right.
Speaking of not going to be seeing people for a while, we've got the Olympic break just starting, so that's 3 weeks without Oilers hockey.
Right. And maybe a good time for it. Thanks for getting heated. I mean,
Oh,
it wasn't quite pissy, but it Dry's
I don't
always
know
good
that
for a good quote. Yeah, he's always
that interview by Leon was
Yeah.
that was something.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we definitely have to talk about that since that's like the lingering memory of losing skid into the break and
Wait.
like completely frustrated Draisaitl, who's obviously never afraid to speak his mind. It's one of the best parts about him, yeah.
Yeah, I liked it because I think when you watch it, for the most part, like, you know, there's people who are like, oh, he threw Jari under the bus kind of thing. And I don't think that's what it was. Because, you know, the question was Jari said, you know, he had to be better or something along those lines. And Draisaitl was like, well, it starts with us too. It's a two-way street, you know, talking about the team defense and stuff. And then he's like, and sometimes our goalies need to make a save. I don't think, you know, that's a bad thing. I don't think any of his comments should be looked at as being necessarily a bad thing.
Right.
I think, you know, the only thing that's interesting to me is the coaching comment, because I feel like he took a beat after saying that to be like, oh, I should maybe not have quite said that.
Right. No, I mean, I was gonna say, yeah, because the goalies, maybe there was a reason that they were already talking about them that they got brought up. The coaches was kind of just like a stray from nowhere almost. I mean,
yeah.
I've seen some hate like for Novak. There's obviously gonna be people that you know, anytime you're not the reigning champ, I guess people are upset. But
Yeah.
I'll like start with the reasonable take, which is like the first time that I watched it, I heard the coaching comment and the goalie comment, but it was more like the way I saw it, less of like you were saying a call out, and more of like a recognition that it takes all of those people operating at a high level to
Yeah.
kind of make a legitimate push, you know, for a cup. So like, yeah, maybe it's uncommon or borderline inappropriate to bring up the goalies or the coaches, but like I saw it more like, hey, it takes all of us. Like, and he was obviously open to clarifying that he considers himself and the leadership group as part of that. But like, it's more that's how I saw it. It's like,
Yeah, and I
man.
think that was, but the reason why the coaching thing stood out to me is because there was the comment then about it has to be more than 4 or 5 of us. And it wasn't like a comment of 4 or 5 of us going as in like playing well. It was like there has to be more than 4 or 5 of us playing almost. And like, I mean, that's been the critique of Knobloch this entire time for the last little while, is he's just running his horses. Like
Right.
when I was writing that oil check, our last oil check one, and looking at the time on ice over the last 8 games, McDavid's at 24 minutes a game. Draisaitl's at 22. Nuge and Hyman were both above 20. Do you know what the next forward was after those 4? Do you know who it
Uh,
was and how much it was?
I'm gonna guess that it was. It's got to be someone like on the PK. I don't know. It's a good question because
So
You said Hyman, right?
yeah, yeah,
And Nuge and
yeah.
McDavid. Oh, geez. Gosh, I don't even know who to guess. Maybe Roslovic with 15 minutes. That's what I'm gonna
No, so
say.
it was Kapanen at 16 minutes,
Okay.
and then it was Roslovic and Podkolzin both at like 14:45.
Right, right.
But you can't have that
Big
big
a
of a gap,
discrepancy. Yeah,
right? And so I think that's kind of how maybe obviously that's if everyone's thinking that you're going to read into the Draisaitl's comments is that, but I think that's kind of fair. Like I don't know, I think that's the problem, and I don't know why that's the case. Um,
yeah. It's
I
been
don't
curious for sure. Yeah.
because I don't think our depth is that bad. Like I don't think we have players where it's like you can't like outside of maybe one or two players, that we've discussed multiple times on this pod. But even then, like, are they really liabilities? Like, is Mangiapane and Frederick, are they that big of liabilities? Like, why is Savoy playing? Like, why is Roslovic, who your GM is talking to about signing to a 4-year, $4+ million a year contract, playing less than 15 minutes a night? Like,
Yeah. No, that's interesting.
yeah. So I think, yeah, I liked how that a part of me is like that interview is definitely him being like, I'm leaving for the Olympics tomorrow. And so it's just like,
Get
oh,
it off my
it's like, I don't
chest.
give a fuck. I don't have the time to just think about my comments. I'm just talking right now. I'm mad and I'm getting on a plane in 6 hours or something like that.
Yeah, no, I mean, well, he does have like I don't know. I love when he's honest like this, or a bit ornery, a bit
Yeah.
thorny. And it's just like, I don't know. It's how, I don't know, it feels good. It makes you understand like what kind of leader he is and like how serious he is about it. And, I mean, he's earned the right to give his 2 cents whenever he wants.
Totally.
So yeah, I mean, obviously he has the best interest of the team when in
Yeah.
making those comments.
When even
It's not like
saying
he's
we're not
pulling
the
a
same.
Jimmy Butler or something like.
Yeah. But
Get
like
me
even
off
him
this
just
team.
saying like we're not the same team, not even close was like an interesting comment.
Right.
And yeah, it goes back to is that talking about the fact that it's just a whole new team. And like, I don't think it's a shot at we're not as good of a team necessarily, but it's like the team has changed. You don't have guys like Brown, Perry, and whatnot. So maybe strategy needs to change or what have you. But
Right.
like that was another interesting thing to
A
say for
layer
sure.
to it. Yeah.
Or maybe we're
Yeah.
just reading too much into this and he was just talking.
No, I mean, what with that comment, I definitely think about maybe even like the Woodcroft days. I think a lot of my articles were referencing this. It's like just because, yeah, you can't. Last year doesn't give you anything for this year.
Yeah.
Maybe some confidence, maybe some reputation in the minds of others, but like every year, like you have to reforge a new team identity. There's going to be a new combination, a new way that it could work. Yeah. So yeah, that's the way I took it. Is like even if you had exactly the same roster, you still need to earn
Yeah.
the identity that you ultimately end up with heading into the playoffs. That's something that you build over time. Obviously, the Oilers are kind of lazy with it, like always coming out slow. Part of me hears these comments from Draisaitl, and it's just like, I don't know, like, are they actually like kind of flippant or coasting at the start of these moments? Like, it can't be. It can't be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know what it is either, but
Yeah.
yeah. And I mean, it looked like they were, going to do the usual thing and start turning it around. But like those last 3 games, I don't know. One of my buddies, I remember he made a comment. He's like, "Yeah, I wanted to go watch the game against Calgary." He's like, "Yeah, maybe go to a bar and watch the game, but I don't really just want to watch a bunch of guys skating to not get hurt before the Olympics." And I was like, maybe that's the case,
Uh,
but we also only have 3 players going to the Olympics. It's not really
right. And they played, what was it, like 24 minutes
24
each?
minutes a game. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, it's curious why I think that like the ice time discrepancy is really interesting with the condensed schedule as well. And
yeah,
obviously, the two guys that you're riding the most are going to be playing the whole time in the break here. Yeah. And really, I think maybe just like one of the themes or shortcomings of this team is just like the lack of identity beyond that
mhm,
top group, I
yeah,
guess. And I think not that it's so different than normal because this is a classic conversation with any team that has McDavid and Draisaitl. Is like, what is the team like without them? But I think in years past, like we've seen maybe just more identity within the bottom six.
Oh yeah,
I think back to like obviously the shutdown line with Henrique and Brown and um,
yeah,
Janmark. That year was crazy. That was so good. I'm thinking back to McLeod, who I really liked a lot as a third line center.
yeah,
But yeah, this year, and I think I don't know, this is gonna just dovetail into like a trade deadline conversation. I really think like having like a center to really set the identity for a third line is important. Through injury or age, Henrique is not the
yeah.
guy right now. I don't know if I would really love to see him get the chance to try, to see if that could work.
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe it's like a fire. Like if you don't give it any oxygen, it's not going to be able to breathe. If you're only
that's
playing
my
them
thought.
4 minutes a night, like what is anyone going to do anyways?
Well, and it's because, and I think the other thing too is it's not just that you're playing so little. I think like the shifts, they're not a regular shift necessarily either, right? So
Right,
if you're sitting for X amount of time, you're just getting cold, then you go out there. And then I think, there's the mental factor of it being, am I not being trusted? So now you're scared about making a mistake instead of going out there and playing. And like, I mean,
right.
Derek Ryan,
Mm,
when Tippett got fired and Woodcroft came in, he was like, "It's great because now we've been given roles. We've been told how we can help the team." And
right.
he mentioned it again, I think on like Oilers Now, like a couple of weeks ago or something, and said, I'd be remiss to say that it's the same kind of thing of you need to give the younger, or sorry, not the younger, the bottom six guys, you need to give them opportunities." And I think that's totally the case. Like, I think that's what, like you talk about last year, Henrik, Janmark, Brown. It was like, this is your role. Go out there and, play solid hockey and just, you know, take advantage. And then I think, you looked at guys like Perry, McLeod, even Kane, when it was like, go out there and, play, hit, do stir stuff up. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Mm,
give them that guidance. And I think for a bit, maybe you did see that on the fourth line with Lazar, and it translated to Frederick a little bit too of, okay, you're going to go out there and be bangers, and Lazar comes out of the lineup and Frederick skates by when McDavid gets hit pretty hard and goes straight to the bench. I don't know. Like,
yeah,
I mean, to be fair, if you are one of those bottom six players, like, I don't know. I can see you getting frustrated.
right.
It's
With just a lack of the opportunity to do much.
well, it's like, am
Yeah.
I just here to skate around until McDavid and Draisaitl are ready to go back on the ice? Like, that's what it basically is.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's really because I feel like there's also been some good performances in
Yeah,
the bottom six this year. Like, I think there's players worth trying, and I
yeah,
think obviously the schedule being so tight maybe is another reason to just at least give them a shot, if only to give
exactly.
McDavid and Draisaitl a bit of a rest every now and again.
Well, and then it's also because, like, whenever we're seen to be losing, it's McDavid and
Mm,
Draisaitl are out there for the entire, like, last 3-4 minutes of the game. Well, if you're gonna do that,
yeah,
play them maybe 15 minutes in the first 2 periods or something instead of,
right. That
or
context
actually probably
definitely
less than that, but,
matters.
like, yeah.
That context is definitely like important to keep in mind because yeah, at the end of a game, like down by a goal, they're out there for 3 minutes. Like what is it? After every commercial break, they're out there.
Yeah.
After every so it's like
And I mean,
I
the other thing too is I don't necessarily disagree with that strategy in some respects, but then I think
mm,
what that strategy needs to be is like, okay, McDavid, Draisaitl, you're going out there, but it should be like, okay, but you're going to go out there for like a 20-second, 30-second shift. See if you can start something. And if it doesn't, if you don't get anything going, as soon as the puck comes out of the zone, let's say, as soon as it's safe to make a change, you're going to the bench. Like, you know what I mean? This isn't a regular shift for you. That's the other way to look
right.
at it. But that's
Yeah,
not
or
what's happened.
even just more circumstantial, like,
Yeah.
okay, maybe in the playoffs, that's a thing, or maybe in a certain game state, that's a
Yeah.
thing. But just for it to be like the default all the
Yeah.
time,
No, exactly, that can't be.
it's like, yeah, no,
Well, and if you give the other players a chance in those more pressure cook situations during the regular season, you can see what they can do, but then they have that ability when you get to the playoffs when you
mm,
need everyone firing, like,
right.
on all cylinders.
Yeah, no, it's It's definitely like a interesting little conundrum here. I've seen some people who are like fully on like the fire Knobloch train, which seems absurd given like his track record. But
Like, and I think, yeah, like it seems absurd, but it's also, it's just what the heck is going on? Like,
mm,
why is it that case? Then I think you look at the defense too, and at times the defense looks really lost. Is that on Knobloch or not? I mean, we talk about Knobloch. I've also seen a lot of things about Mark Stewart and whether it's a
yeah,
rumor or not that he's going and Coffey's coming back or
yeah,
what have
coffee.
you. But
No, I was just writing something about that. The potential of Paul Coffey coming back to coach. Like clearly he doesn't
yeah,
really want to be a
no,
coach. I think part of that is just the lifespan of coaches is shorter. Like why would why would you want to be more there or more
yeah,
there more than you have to? Yeah, it's like just in the firing line. But I think what was it last time where there a lot of the positive comments that were coming out about his impact on the team and especially on the blue line was just
yeah.
like kind of convincing them to skate with the puck more, like not be afraid to attack up the ice a bit. Um,
Well, and I think like it was like Nurse. I think all of them said it, but I remember it was. I definitely remember Nurse saying something along the lines of like Coffee was like he was no BS in the sense that he didn't necessarily he wasn't pretending like he knew more than you or anything like that. And if he thought you made a mistake, he would tell you. But at the same time, if you made a good play, he would tell you.
mm,
So it's not like, some coaches maybe don't necessarily say good job after everything and only if you screw up. But it was like Coffee, it'd be like, if you made a right play, he'd be like, hey, good job, like actually. And I think they just felt I think it was a more relaxed environment. I think it was also maybe, telling them all what their roles are and giving them that confidence. I think that's and I think you saw that in the play then.
right.
Frankly, I don't know. Like if that's the case, I guess it's up to Coffee if he would want to come back, but the players liked playing for him.
Yeah, well, it's a good ringer. Like bring him in. Like, bring him in only when you need him, and at the end of
Yeah,
the year, he can go back to not being a coach. But yeah, it's I guess, um, yeah, this is all just a big knot that stems from these Draisaitl comments because, like, I guess like this, although it's a talented blue line, it's been, I guess, underperforming a lot. And the Oilers do not seem like a very strong defensive team,
no,
and yeah, it's a bit of a mess. Like they already made some moves on the blue line. I mean, they lost Stetcher and they traded Kulak and they
yeah,
brought in Stastny. And you could argue on like whether or not that's an upgrade or whether or not they regret any of those. I think regardless, it's like
yeah.
it should be better than it is. And it's not all on the defenseman,
No,
obviously.
no, and I think, yeah, there's the support from the forwards and stuff. There's, the goaltending. I think but again, I don't know, like hockey, all sports are so momentum based and attitude based and stuff, and so if there's a sour mood, even if they're winning, but like, if you if there's any kind of tension in that sense, it's just gonna lead to things not doing great. So I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. I don't know if the answer is necessarily bringing in more players. Like, yeah, obviously, if you can bring in better players, that's great. It's never a bad thing. But
Yeah.
I don't think the problem. I'm not going to say it's necessarily in coaching because I'm not in the room, and I think the strategy. Like, I do think for the most part, the coaching strategy isn't, from what I can understand. I think it's an offensive based strategy. The defensive zone is a mess. I think the breakouts are pretty decent for the most part and what have you. And I think the offensive strategy with activating defensemen is a pretty good one. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure what the answer is
Yeah.
because
Yeah. No, I was looking up at some like different uh, stats. Obviously, there's no real such thing as a catch-all, and something like WAR might be like a vague attempt at that, or we can maybe call it the best version of that. But whatever, the site I was looking at was um, there was only just like a couple players on the Oilers who were like barely positive in their defensive WAR. So I mean, obviously, it's like such a team stat. I don't think that you, especially defense, is it's hard to like isolate a player's impact. And there's lots of like, I guess, conflicting views on like how well we're able to do that right
Yeah.
now versus like if a team as a whole is struggling, like everyone's defensive war is going to be down. If your team's doing amazing defensively, everyone's war is going to be up. And it's like not necessarily one to one, but it does, I guess, kind of speak to me like there's a void in the lineup of like some stalwart defensive player. It's like
Yeah.
if I'm thinking about who's like the captain of the defensive play of this team, who's the real leader in that
Yeah.
area, like Ekholm comes to
Ekholm.
mind, but like he's getting older. I mean, he's not playing as much as he used to even.
Yeah. I mean, I wonder about whether or not like the Wallman Nurse experiment,
Pairing,
if it really is working like with Wallman on his offside, because it's like I think Wallman. I'm trying to find how they're playing together, but like like that might be part of the issue is not having that true top four right defenseman. And so if that's the case, then does that mean? Because I mean I don't know. I thought Emberson and Nurse actually played pretty decent together in that stretch where Walman
right,
was hurt. And I was like, if that works out, like, sorry, I mean, Emberson's a good skater, and Nurse I think needs to be with a good skater, and so you know,
right.
it's I don't know if maybe that's the answer. I'm again just trying to pull up their stats here, but
Yeah, I think Emberson kind of appreciates some of what Nurse brings too, like someone maybe a bit tougher and stronger than he is, handles some more of the physical stuff. Because
yeah,
to
like
me,
it's
just from my naked eye at the in last year's playoffs, like he started like the first two games against LA and like
Mhm.
he was just kind of a bit overwhelmed,
Yeah,
physically outmatched, and I could feel like the coaching staff was like, okay, no more.
yeah,
No more of that. Um, but yeah, not that he's small, but he's, I think his defending is more about his skating and his brain
exactly.
than
Well, it's
Nurse brings like, yeah,
yeah, like Nurse. So, for instance, like the expected goal for percentage for Emberson and Nurse is 51-22, whereas Nurse and Wallman is 47-42, for instance.
oof, yeah, big difference. I think Regula did really well with Nurse in this expected goals thing, but not in the actual goals.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think he was even better than maybe with Emberson. So it's tough to say, but yeah, that's a big discrepancy, and clearly that 47 is not really a good number. Um,
Yeah. Well, like,
for
yeah,
the
regular and
Nurse
Nurse
Wallman
were
pair.
54%.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
and like all of those are, I guess Wallman is this the smallest sample size we have there, or they're all
yeah.
about the same at this point.
Uh, well, because Wallman has been hurt for so long,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
I mean, like, Wallman's not having a great statistic year in general, it looks like, even, on his own
mm,
kind of thing. So, but I mean, he's been injured a lot and what have you. Um, but
right, right. Yeah. No, I at some point actually I was even thinking about this, just looking especially at those expected goals stats for the defense pairings. It's like Bouchard and Nurse play together in almost every game, but only for fractions of the game.
yeah,
And they're one of the best pairings that the Oilers have in this metric, in the expected goals for percentage. Um, and it just makes me think that, hey, maybe we could see like at home with Wallman
right.
and maybe rejig the top four a little, and it might actually help a lot of things. That I was thinking about this like earlier in the season, like maybe in the fall, and it might be an idea that I should look back into just because I don't know, maybe there's something there.
Yeah,
Obviously,
they have played well. In terms of like skill sets, they have a mesh. Yeah, so like for instance, so they've played 85 minutes together this year, so not a huge amount, but like all
mhm.
their metrics are super high.
Yeah.
Um,
And there doesn't, I've been trying to like lock in on when exactly Knobloch's using them together,
yeah,
like if there's a certain context, and it kind of seems a little bit random. Like it's not like we need to score a goal late in the
yeah,
game, like you guys are out, or uh I don't know. Maybe it could be like a penalty kill thing, but Bouchard plays with Ekholm on the penalty kill. So I'm just kind of I don't know.
No, that's
I
five
think
on five, so that's not taken into account.
I oh yeah, I was saying say if neither of them were on the penalty kill
Mhm.
and Ekholm was out there with Emerson and then the penalty kill ends and then they come
No.
back out or something. But yeah, it doesn't seem like there's a specific context that's like really affecting the results that they put up, you know? It
Right.
seems like it might genuinely like work. Obviously it'd be like both of them have certain defensive shortcomings.
Yeah.
And like the tutelage that Ekholm has been able to give Bouchard, I think, has been important, but it's not going to last forever. You know what I mean? And like
Yeah.
they're often Bouchard and Ekholm are often played with McDavid, so it's kind of like maybe that's a good way to. I don't know. I think there might be something to that of kind of rejigging the top four a little bit, and it might actually help get more out of Wallman because you're
Yeah.
putting him with kind of a more stable, reliable Ekholm um, than Nurse is, and it's kind of like, okay, Nurse Bouchard, like you're our top earning guys, like go out there and like let's figure it out, you know?
I don't disagree. Like they've always seemed to have like pretty good together. I feel like the issue is if your defense is struggling, do you really want to break up the one line, the one pairing that you can count on and that is playing well? You know what I mean? So
Exactly.
it's a risk in that sense.
So
Yeah, I mean, it couldn't hurt for at times or whatnot to try it out, but
this might be my new like thing that I started advocating for. Actually, I think I'm just
Nurse Bouchard.
yeah, it's time. It's time.
I mean, hey, if that works, then you've
Um,
got
yeah. Who needs
you've got
Paul
a good,
Coffee? Yeah.
yeah.
You just need the torp, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I guess well, we have 3 weeks to talk about nothing with the Oilers because of
hmm
the Olympics. Are you gonna be able to watch them like live with the time difference and stuff?
Yeah, no, I think it actually works out pretty well for me. Um, yeah, I don't know how much of my life I want to give away, but I'm I work nights, so I'm up really
Oh,
late. Um, so yeah, I don't need to be anywhere before noon ever. So so I'll have nothing really in the way of me watching a bunch of it.
yeah.
This is it's probably
I'm
good for a lot of people who want to like, watch it at school or
yeah.
work.
Well, I was gonna say I'm really curious if there's gonna be able to find out stats for the days where Canada's playing. How many people work from home those days?
Something to keep an eye on or not,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think
Depending
here
on
I read an article too where like in Alberta, AGLC is like getting like they're starting to accept applications for like licensing in like the wee hours of the morning for the
yeah,
Olympics and for the
yeah.
sports, which we all
No,
know is
no.
just going to be for hockey. But
Well, no, I've been to a bar that they don't really show any sports, but they're open.
okay,
Open nice and early if you want. Yeah.
do you have any thoughts or predictions on the Olympics?
Yeah, for sure. Well, there's definitely like, I mean, we'll try to keep like an Oilers perspective on it.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm Canadian. I'm going to be cheering for Canada for the most part. In games that they're not playing in, it might be really easy to start to cheer for Germany. It
Oh
was
yeah,
like it's easily going to be the best German team ever assembled with Leon obviously headlining. And actually some good firepower too. Like I think that if we're talking like 5 on 5, like
yeah.
they might be able to go up against almost like most of the other countries outside maybe Canada and the U.S. is like
Well, and I mean their division like not is
they
not
could
a
easily
small
finish second in that group for sure.
easily.
Yeah. So Germany starts with they're in a group with let's see, um, the Americans, right?
The Americans,
Um,
Denmark, and Latvia.
Yeah, so they start their first two games are against Latvia and Denmark. So those are hugely important, obviously. And they need to take care of business in those rounds. And then, yeah, it will be fun to see them take on the States for sure. And I'm curious, like how they stack up because how they stack up against like Czechia or Switzerland or
Yeah.
Finland, because I think they could easily kind of insert themselves into that tier of teams.
Yeah, and I mean the other thing to look at too, like because this year it's a little bit different, right? All 12 teams technically have a chance, like they all make the playoffs, right? Like,
Mm,
because it's the top 4 teams get a bye, and then the other teams, the other 8 play a qualification game.
right.
So I mean, it's like they're probably going to be obvious. I would say they're unlikely to finish in the top 4. Um, of the standings. Although,
Yeah.
you know what? Maybe if they win both their games against Latvia and Denmark.
It's just, yeah, can they like beat the US? I mean, obviously it'd be an upset, but I don't
Yeah, I
know.
mean, like, because it's interesting. Like, I don't think it seems like no teams are as the U.S. is maybe the only team that is the strongest it's ever been at these Olympics. I feel like every other team, Sweden, Finland, Czechia, even Canada, are not as strong as they used to be.
Hmm. You could say the Swiss are. This might be one of
Oh,
the
maybe
better
the
Swiss
Swiss.
teams
Yeah,
we ever see. Yeah, no, they're in my Germany group where like I can't wait to see how they kind of go up against the Czechias and the Slovakia. Like,
I mean, Switzerland's gonna play. Canada and Switzerland, like Switzerland always has their number. So
yeah, well, Czechia recently too. I mean,
well, okay, and here's the annoying thing for me in terms of Canada's schedule anyway, is we
Mm,
start off with Czechia, then we play Switzerland, and then we play France. And so the
right.
problem is what is the coaching staff thinking for goaltending? Because if you're like Bennington's getting the first crack, this isn't like in the past Olympics where the first game would have been against France. So you can be like, okay, let's throw him in against France. He's the starter. And then the next game we'll give it to Kemper or Thompson or whatever.
Yeah.
Now it's like if you throw him in against Czechia and we lose, you've basically thrown away the chance to win the division, the chance to be top 4 and get a bye.
Yeah, the chance to maybe see meaningful work for the other goalies as well. Say
Well, like,
Bennington's a flop
yeah,
in the first game, and then you got to play Thompson against Switzerland, which could be a very tough game, or France, which is probably not going to be that tough a game. It's like, how much are you really going to be able to be like, okay, well, he's definitely the guy now. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. No, I actually, I think I remember in 2002 that the Team Canada started against Sweden with Curtis Joseph in net,
yeah.
and he got lit up and like, and a lot of people think that that eventually led to him asking to get out of Toronto with the Maple Leafs because Pat Quinn was obviously a big part of Team
Oh,
Canada.
right.
Some interesting, yeah, history, I guess. Because yeah, it's part of the fun of this time. Like Marty St. Louis comes to mind too. With Steve Eisenman, is like there's a lot of like egos involved, and this is like the culmination of so much. And the
Yeah.
fact that it's been so long since the last Olympics is like it's gonna feel like so much is on the line. And like yeah, every decision is gonna be a huge microscope, especially for like Canada and the States where there's a
There was some
lot.
controversy.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that could or should or might have been picked instead.
I think in Canada, it's so funny. They basically took back the Four Nations team. They swapped a couple of guys, with like Wilson, Celebrini,
Mm,
and Suzuki and Horvat, I guess, but they had one
yeah.
extra spot anyway. But then as soon as it was like, oh, we're missing some people, they just go right back to the well with Bennett and Jarvis, and it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Is the management, is this a thing where it's like, they always say with Team Canada, if you don't play previously, you're kind of maybe not blacklisted, but they really take people who show up every time they ask to play in the World Championships.
Right. Right.
Is it they we're like, you know what, we had a good team we won the Four Nations. If we get these guys, get the band back together, you got that chemistry stuff. Is it laziness and, well, you know what, whatever, like is it truly like, no, we think that this is the best team we can assemble and we look at the Four Nations as a warm-up and so it's a good example of that? Is it laziness of saying, well, we won last time, why don't we bring the same guys over? Is it being scared of being like, if we make changes and we don't
Right.
win, is that, I don't know
Right.
what it is, and I think in a lot of people's minds it's laziness in the sense of, well, we won, let's just take the same guys. Like, that's my view of it, and I think you listen to a lot of the interview on that day when they're talking about it, and I think a lot of the answers weren't super impressive. Um, to say the least. Like saying basically, dismissing Schaefer, even Bedard, like, I mean, they weren't out, he wasn't necessarily outright dismissive per se. But it's still just, and they're not going to obviously throw any of the guys that they pick under the bus or whatever.
Right, right,
But I don't know. Yeah, I think it's especially looking at the injury replacements. I think Jarvis is a good player, and I think he maybe should have maybe, like, I wouldn't have been mad if he was on the initial roster. So
right.
I like him being there. But I think Bennett, like that to me, he's replacing, who is it that he replaced?
Sorelli?
Sorelli. He's not the same player as Sorelli.
No.
So that just, like, to me, that was very much like, we told him he was next up, and so we have to
Right,
take him, or something
right.
like that. So it doesn't inspire a
Yeah,
lot of confidence, and because of that, I think, yeah, it's the first best on best, and like first Olympics, I guess, in
right.
forever.
Since
We've won the
2014.
last we won the last two.
Right, right. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, from the Oilers' perspective, of course, like Hyman and Bouchard are really big omissions. We had like an interesting poll uh,
Yeah,
on our X account of like who was the biggest snub, and those two were very close, neck and neck.
yeah,
I agree with you. Where Schaefer for me is every bit as special as Celebrini, and like
yeah.
there's no way he would be off my team. Um, yeah, no, and I'm thinking about Doughty in 2010,
Mhm.
where he was just this young guy and he kind of had a different personality, and that like unflappability was like anecdotally like a huge part of their
Mhm.
like even keeled composure, especially throughout like the
Yeah,
the last game. So it was hard for me to like, I see not the same personality in Schaefer, but you can feel that there's just like a different emotional energy to him where I feel like he would be very strong in these huge moments. And I mean, I was a huge fan of him his whole draft year. I think every time I watch Schaefer, I'm thinking he's the best player on the ice. Like I
yeah,
can't take my eyes off of him. I was telling people all last year, like if I was his coach,
yeah,
I would feel invincible if he was on the ice. Like
yeah.
nothing bad can possibly happen. Anytime the puck is near him, it's like he ends up with it.
Well,
So
exactly.
I think Schaefer, even to pick like a non-Oiler snub, Schaefer is definitely my biggest snub, even ahead of Bedard. Um, and I
Yeah, I'd
think,
agree with that.
yeah, and I think for my biggest Oiler snub, it's definitely Bouchard. Like I like
Yeah.
Hyman a lot. Like you could argue that net front presence that I guess Tom Wilson is going to be trying to do. Like, well, why not? Why not
I think,
just take?
yeah, like I think it's hard because I think Bouchard objectively is the biggest snub.
Hmm.
Um, but I think it's the replacements, Hyman not getting called for the replacement when he's the goals leader since he came back. Like, I think that makes it a big snub as well. And yeah, and like you're throwing Wilson up with McDavid. Well, guess what? If you threw Hyman on the team, you can do that, and you can have Wilson on that. You can have Wilson on a line with McKinnon, Crosby, or on a fourth line. Like I think I think it was not the greatest, and
Hmm.
I think Team Canada is once again getting into the trap that they've gone into in the past of, and I've said it ad nauseum, of just not necessarily picking the best players under the guise of the best team. And then it was like
Right, right.
98 they lost. I mean, 98 they lost because maybe the
Classic.
shootout. In 2002 they kind of put the best team together, won. 2006 they went back to the rules, got demolished. 2010 they put Doughty on, right? Because they
Right.
made the mistake of not putting Crosby on in 06. 14, like, to me it's very much,
Take the talent.
yeah, it's these are good hockey players. Take the guys with the talent and tell them what to do, and they'll do it. Whereas, like, I think you can go to Evan Bouchard and be like, listen, you need to lock it down defensively. You're not in this game or this shift or this whatever. We're not necessarily asking for you to like
Um,
to go on offense, like play defense. You're a third pairing defenseman here, and he would do it.
right.
right? But can you go to an Anthony Cirelli and be like, hey, we really need you to
Well,
score a
we
goal?
need a goal. I mean, yeah, we'll see. Regarding like the replacement players, especially Bennett, it's just a little point I want to make is that I actually think Bennett, if you put him with Marner, it could be good. Could be good. I think Marner has kind of like had a hard time. Obviously, he set up the
Yeah.
McDavid winner at the Four
Mhm.
Nations, and he had some big moments when it came down to it. But I think like I
I
wasn't
mean,
thrilled with how he fit kind of in the
I
context.
yeah, I agree, but I disagree because I think it was Reinhart. Like Marner, Reinhart, McDavid wasn't a good line because
Nah.
it wasn't. But like once they took Reinhart off and put Point, um, the line started playing a lot better together. So
Hmm.
I just think that was the issue. It was more of a mesh thing in
I
that
mean,
sense. So I don't know. And Bennett, like, I guess here's the thing. Bennett was amazing at the last tournament, like at Four Nations. He was.
hmm,
And so, I can see it from that perspective. The question is now this isn't NHL rules. And
fair.
how's he going to how is he going to play? And is
Hmm.
is he now someone who's I've won 2 Stanley Cups and I won the Four Nations and it gets to his head, or is he thinking I won Four Nations last year by being like an awesome player, like playing he did not
My
get anywhere
game, yeah.
close to the line in my opinion at the Four Nations. Like I don't think he was ever borderline. I think he played an
Uh,
actually very like I don't want to say safe, but like you know what I mean. I think he
right.
was disciplined,
Clean, yeah,
really
and
clean and
discipline.
disciplined for the most part, right? Like, and is that going to be the Bennett that we see at the Olympics? Because if that's the case,
Right,
then yeah, I'll eat all the crow for sure.
right,
I just don't
right.
trust the guy to do it again under double IHF rule.
Okay, yeah, I know. I mean, we'll have to see for sure. No,
But to
it's a
be
bit
fair,
tough.
the States is in the same boat with
Hmm.
the Kachuk brothers and JT Miller, and
Yeah,
so I think we'll have to see, and we'll see how it's refed and stuff. But yeah, I think it's something
yeah,
that seems to and maybe I'm overthinking it, but this is Olympic hockey. This is international hockey. It's not NHL hockey
right. It's gonna be
necessarily.
called differently.
It's going to
They
be
gotta
called a
wear
little
neck
bit differently.
guards.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, it is a bit telling to that none of the line mates that they had McDavid with in the Four Nations are really on his line, at least
Yeah,
for the first like practices we've seen. And so this might be another case for like maybe you should have brought Hyman if it's been so difficult to find someone who
yeah,
really meshes well with McDavid. But yeah, no, I mean, Canada to me and the States are the clear favorites. Like
yeah,
it's probably one of those two. To your point about teams not being as strong, like I would give Sweden a really good chance if Leo
mhm,
Carlson was healthy, but that
yeah,
center ice, like they need that number one center, and he was looking so good this year. And got injured and kind of tailed off, tried to play through it, and then they shut him down again. So it's like that's a huge blow for Sweden's chances. I would say they, I might not put them in that top tier with Canada and the U.S. They might be kind of in a section of their own. And then it's a bit of chaos of like, who do you like better, like Czechia versus Finland? Like
yeah.
Czechia, I think had some legitimate complaints about not being invited to the Four Nations because they think they're ahead of Finland. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I think like yeah, Germany and Switzerland could be in there. Slovakia, I don't know. I don't know if they really have a chance to keep up with the rest of those teams.
No, I mean, I think the one thing for Sweden is that they do have a very good blue line.
Yeah, it's
Like,
amazing.
I think their
Maybe the
blue line is
best.
arguably the best,
Yeah,
because, as much as, again, we're talking about not having Ekholm, it's like your worst defenseman is Broberg or maybe Ekman Larson, depending on how you look at it. So they're all very good skating defensemen. They're all fairly good, like with the exception of maybe Carlson, very good defensively. Like, I think they've got a pretty strong set in that. And then, I mean, you got Gustafson, Markstrom, and Wallstead, who are all goalies who at any point can stand on their head. So I'd say they're the third best team. I think
right.
maybe if Barkov's not hurt, Finland's up there.
Well, like Finland, like last year in the Four Nations, they didn't have Heiskanen. I think, although a lot of people might say Barkov is
Mhm.
a better player than Heiskanen, I think given the context of the
Yeah,
roster, they can handle missing Barkov a lot better than they can handle missing
yeah,
Heiskanen. Because he's like clear in a way, like their best defenseman, and in a sense, like he gives them something so different from the rest of the other like good defensemen on their roster, like Essa Lindell, or it's like they have a lot of these more defensive guys, and to have like a really kind of dominant like two-way guy who can handle the top power play, can really like he's probably going to lead the tournament in ice time if I
Oh
was
yeah.
going to guess. Yeah. Well, maybe Draisaitl or Mo Sider. I shouldn't, I shouldn't get ahead of
Well, I mean,
myself, but
no, but you're totally right. Like Heiskanen is, yeah, looking at the defense, like that is huge in that sense. So yeah, I can see it. I mean, because yeah, a forward you still got Rantanen, you still got Aho, you still have
yeah,
him.
yeah,
So yeah, you
yeah.
do still have top
Some
guys. So
centers, yeah, yeah. Like yeah, they have a strong like I would say Finland centers is clearly above Sweden's. Obviously at full health with Barkov, but maybe even without Barkov, that's maybe a hot take, but
yeah, I don't know. Like, I mean, who are it? Like Elias Lundholm is their number one center, I guess. So it's
man,
not,
I don't know if I trust like
or
Nylander is
Zibanejad, I guess
not a
maybe.
center. Yeah, Zibanejad is kind of like he's on the Rangers, so I don't think we can say that he's definitely washed, but
I mean, he's away from JT Miller, so maybe he'll be fine. Last
yeah, and
time JT
there's
Miller played with a Swedish center
wow,
on
a
the
lot.
team, things
Speaking
weren't great.
of Pedersen, yeah, I don't know like how confident I feel about any of Sweden's centers.
Yeah,
As like
exactly.
for sure, this guy's gonna be a difference maker. They have great wingers, they have great defensemen, they have great goalies, but like yeah, they really, really needed Leo Carlson.
Well,
Huge
I mean,
disappointment.
the talent is there. It's just a question of what these guys are, right? Because you think about it, if we were talking 4 years ago and you were like Zibanejad, Pedersen, and uh, Elias Lindholm, you'd be like,
Right.
that is a
Wow.
great center depth.
Yeah, it's just everything since then is maybe not telling us the same story.
It's not like these guys are old. Like, it's not like we're talking about like 35-year-olds and that's why,
Right.
right? So
Right.
who knows? If you're Vancouver, if you're New York, if you're Boston to a lesser extent, this might actually be good for them. Like
Mm,
having them go out there, represent their country. Maybe it restarts them. I don't know, but
right. Well, especially on maybe the worst teams, like the Rangers are firmly in last in the East right
yeah,
now. Maybe seeing Zibanejad in another context will make teams like, oh, you know what, he might still have some game, like something like that. So it definitely could kind of alter, even outside of the potential for injury. It could alter some of the trade deadline happenings.
I mean, and you look at it, like look at Zibanejad's stats. It's not like he's been terrible. 52 and 50 this year, 62 and 82 last year. Obviously not great. 72 the year before. Not at his
Yeah,
peak. But he's still a serviceable forward. You look
he's a
at the
good.
wing Sweden.
Yeah, he's a good like. I've always liked his defensive game. I'm actually a big Zibanejad supporter. But I think that he's been playing the wing more often. Like at
Yeah.
the end of last year, he was like almost only playing the wing, and the Rangers. It's tough because that's the team he plays for, and it's hard to really separate it. But yeah, I think it'd be hard to go in with a ton of confidence to say like, oh, he's definitely like a top
Yeah.
center. Like if he was Canadian, would he be on the Canadian team at
No,
all?
probably not. Doesn't play for the St. Louis Blues.
Oh, what about the Lightning? He'd
Or the
for sure,
Lightning, exactly.
he'd for sure be on. Yeah. No, I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's. Do you have anything else for Olympic takes or?
Just like I think it'll be interesting to see how like my biggest thought, like my biggest interest is really how's it gonna look with the smaller rank? How is it gonna look in terms of the physicality of the game and how it's gonna be called and stuff? Because this is not gonna be the Four Nations. It's
Right.
not gonna be the Four Nations. The Four Nations was
Lawless.
something it was bonkers. It was a a tournament that was walking into initially or when it was first conceived as being a glorified all-star game, that then the political climate turned it into just like a powder keg.
Mhm.
And yeah, and like the thing for me, and it's the thing that I worry about for the U if I was the US, is
Mm.
that I think Canada, especially when you have people like Crosby and Doughty who have been to the Olympics before. multiple times and know what the games are like and are the leaders and whatnot. Even Marchand, I think they're the guys who can be like telling the team, listen, this is not the Four Nations. This is a different kind of game. In the States, who is calming down the Kachucks? Like who it's not gonna be Austin Matthews. Like who like at the States, like who do they have that would have been I don't think they have anyone that's played. Like I know Brock Nelson probably played in like the 1930 Olympics, but otherwise
Oh man.
but it's no, but like I think that's the big thing where the Olympic experience is in Canada and Sweden's favor, I think probably. Because I'm trying to see who would have played in the Olympics before.
Right. Yeah, there's not really anyone with experience on the American team.
Yeah, I'm just looking up the 2014 roster. So it's like, I mean, no Russia obviously changes. I was talking to someone and they were like, what they should have done for the Russian players is they should have just done a fantasy draft and every team
a
could
sad
pick
one.
one. And then you get Kucherov on France.
Yeah, well, I mean, Canada would definitely take one of the goalies for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm looking through the rosters right now to see if there's a. I guess Martin Marincin played at the last Olympics and he's playing at this one. Um,
the timeless one.
the timeless one. I still can't believe that there's more former Oilers who are no longer in the NHL playing in the Olympics than current Oilers.
Current Oilers. That's a funny way of looking at it.
Yeah, with the United States, Cam Fowler, John Carlson, Paul Martin, Joe Pavelski, Zach Parise, Derek Stepan, Ryan Kessler, Ryan Suter, James Van Riemsdyk, Kevin Shattenkirk, Dustin Brown, Ryan Callahan, Paul Stasny, Ryan McDonough, Blake Wheeler, Jonathan Quick, Jimmy Howard, Ryan Miller, David Backus, Brooks Orpik, Max Pax, Justin Falk, TJ Oshie, Phil Kessel, and Patrick Kane. So Kane's the only one.
Right. Is he on the team? Or
I think so.
he's just a scratch.
Wait, is he not?
I don't know.
Oh, he's not.
Yeah.
Why did I
So
think he was?
that would have been like their chance to have some experience.
Yeah.
That they kind of missed out on or opted not for. I went with Clayton Keller instead.
Which I mean, I don't disagree with necessarily,
Mm.
but
No.
I mean, granted,
Yeah.
we only have two in Crosby and
Yeah, well, it's 12 years ago. It's a long
Yeah.
time. It's a long time.
because Marchand, I think, played at the World Cup. That's what it was.
Right. The World Cup. That's a good one.
But it'll be interesting to see. I don't know. I'm nervous about it. Like, I think it's just decision making, and I think at least the one nice thing to have seen is the lines at practice. I think we're well composed even on the defensive side, other than the one tweet from Rashad where it seems like maybe he mixed up the third and fourth defense pairing, and everyone's like,
Yeah, worse than
what is
that.
going on here?
Well, worse than that is he put Doughty on the left side.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that wasn't a great. That was kind of not great. But I mean, I think otherwise the lines look good. I don't think they really know who the goaltending is yet.
Yeah, who would you take? You're not a Bennington fan.
No, my thought was I think you start with Thompson against Czechia. You play regardless of how he does. You play Kemper against Switzerland, and then you either play Bennington against France because it is what it is, or you say, okay, if we need to decide between one of Kemper or Thompson, you play them against France.
Yeah.
I think I would give one to each goalie. That would be my
Really
thought process. Yeah.
I think I like Kemper, but I feel like Thompson is the upside.
That's what I said. Yeah, that's why I was going Thompson.
Yeah. Bennington's more what you know. So I might go Thompson game 1 and just try to ride it out. It's like you can go. You could go back to Benner if you need to or whatever. But we'll see. I highly doubt it.
Yeah,
I feel like they're just gonna be like, oh, to your point of them sticking with what worked last year is like they're probably just gonna go Bennington the whole time.
Which even last year that was a mistake to play Bennington in every single game and not give. So that's the thing is John Cooper Is he gonna put together the best team? Like, at least the lines at least are showing that he's thought about it and spreading the wealth a bit and what have you, and maybe learned lessons, like you said, with McDavid in terms of who McDavid plays with. We shall see. It'll be fun.
It'll definitely change at least once as the tournament goes. Well,
If you had to pick a dark horse team to, let's say, make it to maybe not the
metal.
finals, let's say to the top four, to the semifinals.
Yeah. Um, so like I guess like the parameters is you can't pick Canada, USA, or Sweden. And we're trying to come up with the fourth team. And
I don't know, because
we
then you get to say, I don't know, do you think picking Finland and Czechia counts as a dark horse?
I mean, relatively speaking, perhaps. I like I mean, the easy thing for me to say is Germany here. Just
Hmm.
try to get the hometown votes for
Yeah,
Draisaitl here is like to me that's going to be like I guess my hot take is that Germany has a chance to really kind of prove themselves
yeah,
to be like on the level of Czechia or Finland uh, or all those guys. Yeah, for me, it's that Germany and Switzerland. I'm super interested to see like easily the best teams they've ever had and how they stack up against that middle tier. And I'll say, hey, why not? Like, I think Germany, you have Draisaitl, clearly one of the top players in the game. You have Mo Seider, who arguably is in Norris contention despite
hmm,
not being like a super offensive guy, as like the rest of the people that win the Norris. Um, yeah, I mean, and they have like Grubauer is, an NHL goalie.
yeah.
He's having a good season, I guess. Is he or is that just completely fabricated? We need a stat check on this. Grubauer. Because yeah, I mean to me, like you have like no one I guess thinks of them of having any chance, but to me, why not? If they can play a solid team game, check and just wait. You got Paterka, like yeah, you got some real firepower, you know? I think there's no reason that it can't be Germany
Yeah,
surprising everyone. That'll be my
yeah. Because I'd say,
yeah, man. 916 save percentage this year.
yeah.
Let's go. Let's go,
No,
Grubauer.
I think Germany is probably the best bet. I mean, Switzerland. I mean, yeah, you've got the problem for Switzerland is who's Akira Schmid? Like, is he
I like
like
Schmid. He's
no, I know, but
nice.
is he as good as he's been this year or not? Like he's to me the wild card for them. Um,
Right.
and so that's to your point of Germany. At least you have. I mean, it's still Grubauer is kind of similar, but at least Grubauer's a lot more experienced of a guy. You know.
Right. And Switzerland, they have some nice pieces. Obviously, Yossi and Siegenthaler and Moser. I think they have a deeper blue line than
Yes,
Germany, for example.
but Germany has a
Um,
deeper forward core, I'd say.
yeah, well, yeah. I mean, yeah. The Swiss, like to me, it looks like that Heischer line. He's going to be the top line guy.
Hmm.
You got Fiala and Timo Meyer that probably look like legitimate scoring wingers. And then it's like Suter is pretty good as a center, but I don't know if it's really Niederreiter is a good depth ringer like Khrushchev. There's some okay depth, but I think I'm gonna take Germany over Switzerland as a whole.
Yeah, I
Sorry,
think that.
Siegenthaler. I love you forever, but I'm going with Germany. Yeah.
Yeah, and like I mean, Latvia is always an interesting team at these tournaments,
Right.
but they don't. I don't think they quite have the depth.
No, and like I love the Czechs, and
Mhm.
they play so tough and so together, and they've been super impressive, and they won obviously the World Championships recently. But I think Germany like might have a better team. I think Germany can swim with them.
Yeah,
That'll be my hot take, I guess.
yeah. I think they. I mean, because even on the on the defensive end, like you've got two current NHL defensemen, and one of them is Radko Gudas. Like you've got formers in like Kempney and Ruda and Simek. I guess Bacek is a prospect, like he's in the AHL. But I think that's going to be potentially the weak side for Czechia. And I mean, obviously Germany is in a similar boat with only Sider. um, whereas Switzerland has their top three. But
Right.
I think you're right in that Germany can surprise. Like,
Yeah. And they have, yeah, one of the
and
top players in the
I
tournament.
I was just about to say you've got guaranteed, without argument, the top five, one of the best five players in the world, I think.
Yeah.
And on any given day can play and be the best player in the world, right?
Yeah. And
So,
single elimination. Like, yeah.
yeah.
If they Sider's gonna play half the game. Like,
Well, that's the
I
thing.
think
You have Grubauer playing out of his mind. You have Sider playing half the game, like you said. Draisaitl playing at the top of his game, and then yeah, you got Paterka, Stutzla, who are both good players in the NHL. Like, you got a chance, but
yeah. Yeah.
I still think if we're including Czechia in this, I'd probably still pick Czechia over Germany. But that's just their forward core is a bit deeper.
Yeah. Yeah. A bit more like international experience.
I guess
There's
technically there could if Thomasek, does he count as an Oilers player to be picked?
oh right.
I
So
don't think so.
sad it didn't work out for him.
Yeah, I'm sad too.
I really thought like he looked good when he was playing. And again, to the Knobloch not giving anyone a chance is like I really would have liked him to see him get like a real
Yeah.
run somewhere. And I think that it's almost foolish that another team didn't see that,
Mhm.
here's a guy, he's big, he's got good hands, he's got good offensive instincts, he can play center, uh, and we're just gonna be like, whatever. You don't want to see, you don't want to check.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know, man. I don't know. To me, that's like, obviously I'm not a scout. No one's paying me to make their NHL team better, but to me, it's a little bit shocking that there's at least one team that I can think of that I would be like, you should have given them a try because, yeah.
One thing, did you see the like the quote or whatever for McKinnon about he's like, I'm not here to enjoy the Olympic experience. I'm here to play hockey.
Yeah, yeah, he's great that way, isn't he?
What in my head, I'm like, okay, yes, on the one hand, obviously we want to win, you want to do this, but the Olympic Games are also a different breed of things. And I'm just like, so I'm like 50-50 on that.
Right.
Like I think because apparently the American team has decided, I read somewhere anyway, that they're all going to stay in the Olympic Village. And I think that's a good thing to do because I think like, I don't know, if I was going to the Olympics, like I think that's an experience like
Yeah.
that you're never going to get again potentially. So I
Yeah.
would hope Canada would do that too. I don't know. I don't know if they've said yet, but
I think like McKinnon is the last guy that you're gonna get that kind of answer from. Like, oh, I can't wait to hang out with all these cool athletes and meet all these people from around the world and have this like crazy experience of being in the Olympic Village, that not many people can really ever do.
yeah.
Yeah, no, but that's why he is who he is. That's why he is who he is. I expect nothing less.
I think the problem is like, could you imagine you do that and then if you don't win the gold, like that's just a
Mhm.
double bummer then, you know what I mean? You're like, I went to
Yeah,
Italy, sat in a hotel room or was in the gym or on the ice and did nothing
right,
else just to
right.
lose. Like, at least if you go and enjoy, you're like, well, you know what?
I'll have these memories
I
forever.
have these memories. Yeah. Obviously, maybe not the right attitude some people would say to go into it for,
Mm.
but
Mhm. Yeah. I mean, as someone who like will like probably never earn in my whole life what McKinnon makes in like
yeah.
half a year. uh,
I mean, I was watching over the over the weekend, and there was like a 53-year-old lady doing the like snowboard cross or something like that, or like the parallel thing.
Phase,
And
I'm sorry to tell you that I'm not gonna make it to the Olympics ever.
listen, 2038 is going to be in Canada. There's going to be so much. There's potentially going to be in Canada. So there's going to be so much money going in. We just got to take advantage. Like, just pick a random sport. Me and my friend were like, "We'll do double luge." How many people want to do double luge? Just looks like an uncomfortable sport.
Yeah. No, I think I'll like I'll maybe be like some kind of like mental coach for Nathan McKinnon. I'll be like, hey, just relax a little. Hey, come down. Let's let's hang out with some friends.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I think, yeah, there's probably something to it. I'm not going to tell Nathan McKinnon what
No, I'm not,
to
again, I'm not saying,
do.
like, you want him to play at his best, so if that's how he feels, whatever.
Yeah,
Whether or not that was a
he's.
little bit of a tongue-in-cheek quote, I don't know, right? I could just read it, I didn't hear it. But it's,
I
like, an
just, yeah,
interesting thing of
yeah. I heard that USA, like at their practice, they were more loose, like whatever, whatever. And I think it's just one of these things that like n- whoever doesn't win, they're gonna look back on it and be like, we should have done this, or we shouldn't have done that, or should have taken Jason Robertson, whatever. We should have not hung out in the Olympic Village.
yeah, exactly. It's always gonna be.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, it's hard to say. It's hard to say. I forget. Yeah, I forgot the question. Yeah. Do you want to do any the trade deadline things before we end off, or
The only thing I have is, like I'm thinking about for that is, though, is, like, there's no trades that can be made. I don't know if
well,
that's
just yeah, maybe more like what you think would
uh,
help the Oilers, but I guess we could do that another time.
yeah, because 'cause we've got 3 weeks to
Yeah.
get on that.
No, fair enough. Fair enough. So, yeah, I guess we'll just it's been long enough. I mean,
Yeah,
we're already over an hour.
yeah. Like, I
Um,
think, yeah, we got a lot of Olympic talk going too, so I feel like maybe should we just end this and then we can talk about how to
yeah, maybe. Um,
do anything else?
I don't know. Let me just check out the French roster. Let's see.
The
'Cause they have
French roster. There's I think because the Italian roster doesn't have a single NHLer.
right.
The French
The
one
French
does.
Tessier and Belmar and DaCosta, if you remember that guy.
Oh my god, yeah, DaCosta. Joanna
Yeah.
Vitu?
Oh,
Oilers
yeah.
legend Joanna Vitu.
There we go. How could we forget? And then I was gonna see if they brought Huey out of retirement or something. No, yeah, I don't know. Denmark, I guess, is interesting, but to me, like, yeah, like I was saying, that the dark horse team was like Germany has it all way
Yeah.
more than like. There's something to like about the Danes, but
Mhm.
not as much as Germany, I think.
Well, and you have to remember the Danes don't have an NHL defenseman,
Yeah,
right? I think there was a time where I really thought Denmark was gonna be
uh,
pushing up to be like where Germany is right now, and they
mhm,
don't seem to. I don't know why they haven't seemed to progress as much. So I think Germany's gonna have, yeah, they're the best. They have very high end talent for a non
right.
out of a non-competitive team, right?
I
Or
like
sorry,
it.
not non-competitive, but you know what I mean.
Oh, yeah.
You got a
The only
perennial
pro
Norris Trophy winner, or Norris contender, a
yeah,
perennial Hart and Art Ross contender. Stutzla's gonna is like up there in terms of play.
yeah. Paterka, obviously, they don't have the lines up at least at daily faceoff, so I'm just
Mhm.
gonna try to see if I can find the roster. German hockey team, because I'm definitely thinking of or forgetting a couple notable, interesting people. Dominic Cahoon, of course. Of course. Lucas Reichel, Tobias Reeder, of course. Josh Szymanski, heavy Oilers flavor. Not only on the being top heavy part, but
The former Oilers, yeah.
yeah. Uh, Nico Sturm. I mean, and then on defense, I don't know how you would say it. Gavanke. I was interested in him for a while.
Oh, yeah.
Uh, yeah, I thought he could be something. Yeah, I guess he's the only really other defenseman that I'm super familiar with. But yeah, no, Germany. So I'm feeling good about it. And what better place to rep the German squad than for the Torp? You know, the fans of the Torp.
That's the tar exactly.
Well, we're the German fans. Obviously, Draisaitl is a big deal. So I don't know if you ever look at the stats for the site, but like I think it's like the third for which country views our blog the most. It's like
Yeah.
it's way up there.
Really, it's Germany.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. It's like Canada and then US and then I think it's Germany third.
Well, danke to all our
Could be.
any
Yeah.
German fans and listeners and readers.
Exactly. Or that the epicenter. This is the start of the bandwagon. No one thinks they can medal, but
No,
I think that they're going to win bronze.
I could see that. Like
Yeah.
Germany, yeah, no, and you're totally right. If Germany, the only time anyone in Edmonton is not going to be cheering for Germany is if they're playing Canada. It's
Yeah.
the only way.
Yeah. Like I and like yeah, a lot of the underdog teams like can get like that cult following. And Germany is in an interesting spot because I think their forward group is like not the States
Mhm.
or Canada, but I don't know, like you could put it up there against I guess a lot of the other countries. Like maybe to say Sweden is not ahead of them would be unfair, but to me, there's two centers on the German roster that are better than anyone on the Swedish roster.
Yeah,
At center, which is Draisaitl and Stutzla.
yeah,
Um, like I don't know, I don't know.
yeah. Yeah. Canada, Germany final.
Yeah, there we go. We'll see. For one of them, it will be like the same as always, losing in the final.
Yeah, right. That's true. Oh my God, that'd actually be terrible.
Yeah.
Well, thanks everyone for listening to another episode of the Torp. We'll see if we get in another Olympics episode since we still have like 2.5 more weeks until NHL hockey comes back. And if we do, you'll be able to find us where you get your podcasts. Remember to check out all of the articles that Greg, I, and many of the other beautiful, smart people write at the Oil Rig. There'll be lots of Olympic content. I've got a couple articles coming out that are just goofy ones, cap compliant cap compliant
Oh,
Olympic rosters,
oh
and then
wow.
just past performances by others at Olympics. So check that out. But yeah, see you guys next time.
Bye. Yeah, I don't
Bye.
know.